On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, we will talk about the world's greatest superpower, the ability to flap away from uncomfortable situations.
And this episode asks, will he say yes to the vest? Oh. Let's do this. Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. We're on Season 5, Episode 18, Point of No Return. I'm Diana.
I'm Liz. You shook up that intro, and I don't know what to do. I'm all flustered. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Did I sound excited?
You do. Yeah, we're here. We're recording. Yeah. It's a podcast.
This means I've watched my 100th episode of Devil's Trap, of Supernatural.
Of Supernatural. You've watched 100 episodes.
I've watched 100 episodes of Supernatural.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to?
I was traveling. I spent the weekend in a lovely part of Southern Virginia, the Lynchburg / Forest area, visiting family. We were very close and actually did stop by Thomas Jefferson's Poplar Forest, which was his second home that he would retreat to frequently to read and write. And it's just beautiful countryside out there, but we were there for family, but got to pop around a little bit and see the really cute downtown, the water, and a lot of history there. And yeah, other than that, trying to get ready for Christmas.
And one of my Pilates classes, like everyone's always like, the women are so concerned about being ready for Christmas. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I was like, I don't know, like, what do I have to get ready for? Like, everyone puts so much stress on themselves about this. And like, guys, it's supposed to be fun. If you're going to do it, enjoy it. If it's stressing you out, stop fucking doing it. That's not the purpose of this.
But I like that stress.
Okay, but that's different. You get off on it. That is a separate thing. Like, if you're just getting off and being tense and like
my own neuroses, I'm fine with them.
That's different. So,
how about you? What have you been up to?
So we kicked off another aerial season this week. It's just a small in between session, and during class, I was training for the aerial hoop, the lyra thing, which is basically a steel thing meant to torture and hurt you. While it looks really fun to play on, like, this is so much fun. Why does this hurt so much? Like, oh yeah, I am purposely bouncing around on a steel tube. So our instructor decided that, in a very brilliant thing, I know it came out of TikTok because everything comes out of TikTok now, decided that in order to help us learn to keep our forearms close to our bodies, that we would be strapped in Houdini style with little resistance bands to basically make your arms look like a T-Rex. So then you can grab onto the hoop and then flip your butt up and straddle it and do whatever other fun, dancey things you want to do while you're upside down, holding on with your arms close to your body. But basically that means everybody got forced to look like T-Rexes walking around for a little bit, which may have been I think Ashley may have just been fucking with us. It was actually a very good technique, but also I'm very glad nobody videos that class, because once you get into that, you cannot un-T-Rex yourself. So I have a very big sympathy for the dinosaurs and how they got stopped because they couldn't move their arms. And yeah, so thanks to that, I spent the last few days in a lot of actual physical pain because old women shouldn't do strong things. Old women in their 40s. Oh,
it's not old.
The elders.
Stop trying to sound so old.
I work with a bunch of fucking millennials and whatever the guys, like people who were born in like the 2000s, you know, like, ugh. I love you guys. You're great. You're very smart. And I can't wait to bring you up in the world. But Damn, y'all are children.
Oh,
Uh,
goodness. Well,
so that is my news. So we're going to move
yeah.
into the news of this episode, which is prompting us to. So next week, guys, is going to be our 100th episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, and that is fantastic.
Super exciting.
And
it's pretty freaking cool, guys.
We're gonna do some, I don't know, some cool stuff. Maybe we'll dance. Maybe we'll set things on fire, blow shit up, take down a government. I don't know. You never know what we'll do. So tune in next week and can't wait. So, but this week though is the 100th episode of Supernatural.
Yes.
So, like Diana said, she's watched 100 episodes of this show.
Mm-hmm.
This episode was titled Point of No Return, which may be a Back to the Future reference, or also possibly a reference to the fact that once a television show reaches 100 episodes, you can go into syndication. So money. So if you work in television, this is beyond just the accomplishment of having made 100 episodes of this, which is, fantastic. That's just, it also means, hey, we can get that good old syndication money, which I'm sure everybody was super excited about. This first, yeah, exactly. So this first aired April 15th, 2010. It was directed by Phil Sgriccia and written by Jeremy Carver. And, as we go into this, I do want to say, I'm not a huge fan of this episode, and not because I don't think I think it's a brilliant episode. It's just a lot. But I also know I'm going to have a great time annoying the fuck out of Diana as I point to all the ways that this episode solidifies Destiel. The face.
I was just going to
say. She already made the face. She's like, oh no, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, it is.
I heard one line in it and I'm like, fuck, here it goes. I
will say, even when it's that obvious, you're just like, oh, even I have to admit, yeah.
No. So I will say, before I watched the episode, I let you know I was about to start, and you told me to hold on to my butt. And I was like, uh-oh. And I feel like that was, that could be translated and interpreted a lot of different ways, whether it was going to be scary or whatever. And I can't even call this Bummersville, because this episode is just really emotionally heavy. And I'll just leave it as that. That's what I'll say going into it.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's just what it is. It's a lot.
Fucking lot.
Yeah. So we're going to start off this episode when they come in with this really beautiful jukebox. I love that jukebox so much.
So cool. Yeah. And we've got a gentleman putting some money in the jukebox and playing The Man Upstairs by K-Star. And we cut over, and who's drinking at the bar but Zachariah? Weird. Okay. Let's see what this is all about. And basically they just have this dialogue about commiserating about getting fired. Talking about pink slips. Oh shit. Zachariah got fired from being an angel? Like, how does this work? I don't know.
How do you get fired? Like, do you get laid off? I don't know. But the corporate worker bee is also just like, outsourcing. And at 2010, this was a very apt conversation, because this is right when we were starting to really first see things go to outsourcing. I remember being in that world, and now, when you call in to get assistance with your phone, you're not talking to somebody here.
No, not usually in the United. They're not, very rarely are they.
They are outsourced to, or actually, and who knows? It's probably going to be back to us. Like, that's just how the world works. Wherever the cheap labor is. But the corporate dude asks Zach very pointedly, "What's your crime against humanity?" Like, oh, so many. So many.
Yeah, and they're just mostly just commiserating about this, and but until on his little rant, Zachariah says something about pig filthy humans. And Stuart, we find the guy's name is that he's talking to, kind of pauses at that, but then they just keep talking, and then the room starts shaking.
Well, but Zach is nice, and he does buy him around. So
Yeah,
this was I was like, all right, Zachariah, at least you're paying to help this guy get drunk. But
yeah. But the room slowly starts shaking, and Stuart's like, is this an earthquake? And Zachariah's like, no, it's my boss. Oh. So now we're going to get visited by
But all the
higher
liquor
angels.
explodes.
All the glass explodes, the windows explode, the bottles are going. Poor Stuart and the bartender's ears are exploding, and then their eyeballs explode.
And that's sad and all, but all that booze, like, it's just gone. Like, nobody, like, sought to be like, oh, man, that was some top shelf shit, too. Like, they didn't just, like, take out the, like, oh, it's so sad.
Very sad. Very sad. Yeah. So Stuart's dead. Bartender's dead. Skylight's fallen through. So Zachariah just looks up to talk to God through it. And basically, he's getting put back on the job. So he's excited as he walks out of the bar.
But not before he does finish his whiskey, which also props. But he did, like, just, like, at least there was one giant piece of glass in it that he pulled out.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you don't poop, does it matter? Like, can you, like, glass. I mean, like, can you have glass in your stomach? Like, what is it? Like, you don't have intestines, or do you? I don't know. It's so confusing.
Angel anatomy. We need that class. Not really. I don't want that. But yeah, we get a really nice close up.
Do you have junk? That's actually the only, like, Kendall. That would have to be, like, they would probably keep that to, like, class 10, because, you know, that's the just only thing everybody wants to know. It's like, cool, yep, arm, intestine. What about the penis? Is it like a Ken doll? We need to know.
Is there a dick? Or a coin
Where do the wings go?
I learned, there was a lot of sportsing this weekend, and so during World Cup they call it, if you get kicked in the balls, it's your coin purse.
Oh, that's very British, yes.
Anyways,
so we're gonna cut to Dean.
Well, hold on. I do like that Zachariah is singing "When the Saints Go Marching In" as he leaves the bar. I just have to point that out. But that also shows his overinflated sense of self, and that, what does he think he's a fucking saint? Apparently, that's the implication that I read in this.
Yep.
All right. Dean's wandering around a motel room, drinking a big old bottle of whiskey by himself, packing a box. Okay, so Dean's
it's unlabeled whiskey. Like, he went and found, like, the store, like, where you just get the shit from, like, behind, and, like, nobody, like, talks about it. It's like, yeah, this fell off a truck somewhere. It was like, I don't know.
It's loosely shaped like a major brand's bottle, but it's not quite the label. One of those
like,
things.
This is fine. Whatever. I'm gonna die.
Yeah. And so, but they show us him writing a letter, so okay. But he's got this box together, and he's going to mail it to Robert Singer. All right, so he sends this big old box of his stuff to Bobby.
Oh, did you not look to see what the letter said?
I couldn't see, no. I didn't think it was showing us.
All right, so they paused on it, so you could kind of see a little bit of it. So basically, the letter said, Sam and Bobby, given what's about to happen, I'll be surprised if this package ever finds you. But if it does, I want you to both know that what I'm doing isn't about giving up. John taught us better than that. This is about time. We've run out of it. Left the Impala and Cicero. Where I'm going, we don't need roads. I know you'll look after her for me. Bobby, you've taken more for the team than anyone could ever ask. That makes you an honorary Winchester in my book. Sam, you told me once that you pray every day. Not sure if that's still true. Probably isn't. But if it is, give it one last try for me. And Sammy, one Winchester loss to this fight is enough. When it's over, ... That's it. So this is very, like...
That's terrible.
Not only is it terrible, but I think we can circle back to something, like, main points in there. Like, so he's telling Bobby he's a Winchester.
Yep.
So Bobby's gonna get... Bobby's getting baby and not Sam? What the fuck? That's messed up, man. Like, if I was Sam, I'd be fucking pissed. Like, that's my dad's car too. Like, don't give this to... I love Bobby, but, like, then you end up in family court, like, over the car. Like, it'll be a thing.
Bobby can't drive it. I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, how would you? I mean, he obviously can drive the van quite well, but that's not. I would take a lot of modifications. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, but also the Sam thing. So basically, he's telling Sam to stand down and just to pray for him. So
yeah,
whatever is happening, Dean is like, I don't need my leather jacket. I don't need my car.
Yeah, it's a big deal. He's giving those things up. So Sam appears, though, in the doorway behind him and asks Dean if he's sending a candygram.
Candygram.
Yeah, and Dean acts like he's surprised that Sam found him, but we all have figured out by now through the seasons that they both kind of know each other's tells and what they are going to kind of do. So Sam was able to be like, "Look, it was not hard to figure it out. You're gonna kill yourself. You've said you got your farewell tour stopped, and ask how's Lisa doing." So, Dean's like, "No, I wasn't gonna kill myself." Okay, that's reassuring, but that means that he's going to go be Michael's Muppet.
And I do love the idea of him being Michael's Muppet. And someone, can they please make Dean a Muppet? And then, crap, am I going to have to make a Dean Muppet? Like, I may have to make a Dean Muppet and a Sam Muppet and a cat. Like, you can't just make one.
That'd be kind of weird, right?
It'd be sad and lonely, just like Dean and Sam are right now.
So, Sam's pissed though. He's like, "You're just gonna walk out on us, walk out on me like that." And Dean's like, "What the fuck? You only just all you ever did was walk away." And Sam's like, "Yeah, but I was wrong to do that."
Point. Right?
I know, it's a good volley here, and but Dean's like, "Yeah, but we just have no plan. So sorry."
But Sam was just like, and we see this kind of through this episode, this Sam being like, "Just give us more time. We've got something." But they being like, "What?" And Sam's like, look over there." And so
look over there. I'm going to get you booped by an angel and we'll end up at Bobby's place. Ta-da! That's all I got.
Yep. So he does get a solid cast boop. It's just like,
it's a good boop.
Yep.
Full boop. Surprise boop. And so now we've got Bobby, Destiel, and Sam and Dean all in full research mode. They got the murder wall going. They got the books going. And Dean references that they've been doing this for 8 months.
He's just bitching. He is the unhelpful group member. So you have a group project going and like most of you are pitching in and you just have this one guy who's like, "This isn't going to work." And does not come up with an alternative idea, but with the one idea that he won't let go. And it's like, "Dean, no, we don't, not Michael. Don't say yes. Don't say yes." But then it gets bad though. It gets real bad.
Oh yeah. So, because Bobby calls him out for not being helpful. And it's like, "What happened to you?" And Dean said that he basically, "Look, I'm just facing reality. The nuclear option is all we've got left. Michael can ice the devil and save a lot of people." But Bobby's like, "Yeah, but it won't save everyone. So we can figure something out that saves a lot more people." And Dean's like, "Nope, I can't handle if we lose. Lucifer will win. And then I could have done something to stop that." Bobby tells him, "You can't give up, son." And Dean quips back, "You ain't my father and you ain't in my shoes."
The look on Bobby's face. I have to beat up Dean now. Like, I just have to go beat him up. And then if you look at Sam also wants to beat up Dean because you don't talk to Bobby this way. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't give a shit where you are, and you don't talk to him this way. Fuck off, Dean.
I mean, like, you and Bobby both need, like, was it shankla? It's like shankla, like a sandal to throw at Dean right then.
The shoe? Throw a shoe at his face?
Yeah. So there we go.
No, that's also the thing. Maybe this is a testosterone thing, right? If there was a woman in this room, he would have gotten hit upside the head with a chancla. Like, that would have happened. Like, it just was like, nope, you don't get to talk to him that way.
For those of you not in Texas or not around people of Hispanic descent, chancla is when an elder in a Latin family, a female, throws her sandal at your fucking face because you said something fucked up, or hits you with her sandal,
or hits you. Like, actually, I have seen
Sometimes
women just take off the shoe and just repeatedly beat somebody with their chancla. That's just what you. That's
a thing. Just in case.
And that is, and in this case, it would be cue for respect your fucking elders, and not just elders, people who have done a lot for you, like you that
are like family, even if they're not blood family.
And I think this is also why I'm very frustrated with Dean, because you're planning on basically killing yourself, right? We all know, like, in the end of this, Michael's gonna ride you, put you away wet, like whatever happens, but you're not seeing your family again.
No.
So why are you being a dick to them? Do you
It
want
doesn't
this
make
to
any
be their last
sense.
memory of you? Like,
It doesn't make any sense. But Dean's just being a fucking asshole.
it's a lot.
And
then it gets worse. And then it gets just so much worse.
So Bobby pulls a revolver out of his desk and a separate bullet from the revolver and displays both. Tells them that that's the round that he means to put through his skull. He looks at it every morning, but he doesn't because he promised Dean that he wouldn't give up. Holy fuck, Dean, you're a bigger asshole than we thought 2 seconds ago.
A lot. It's a lot.
A lot. And then this all gets
so
interrupted
as we're
because there's a
going
noise.
as we're going through this emotional trauma, Cass gets a migraine.
And has to disappear.
And you gotta flap away to see what's happening. And he's like, I'm gonna go to a forest.
Okay, Cass, I get it was awkward. I'd want to leave the room too.
Actually, yeah, if I could, like, if I had
out of this shit.
Oh my god, that would be. See, now I know what I want my superpower to be. I want my superpower to be the ability to flap out of a room when things are awkward.
Oh shit. All right. So we see Castiel's now in the woods somewhere.
In the woods.
Looking for
know.
something.
He
Just
could be in the Black Forest.
Woods.
He could be in Redlands. We don't know.
Somewhere in the goddamn woods. And sees something in the leaves moving. It's real weird. Something's trying to crawl out of the leaves and he's trying to reach for it. And then he gets attacked by an angel with an angel knife. Some bald dude. There's a fight. And there's another angel with an angel knife. And they're fighting. And Castiel's fighting pretty. His fighting skills are pretty solid.
He's just like, watch me with my angel blade. And he ninjas his way out and he kills them both.
Yep. And they bright light angel out. That's what I decided to call that.
Well, they die. They don't angel, they die.
Well, yeah. But they've
or angel out, whatever. we can go
bright light involved, you know. And then so Castiel goes back to that weird spot in the ground and pulls out a dirty leafy person.
And so this dirty
my
leafy
notes
person,
are on point. Yeah, my notes were on point for this episode. I'm not if I say so myself.
They were. And so who is the dirty leafy person?
Who's the dirty leafy person? We got back to the Bobby's house, and Castiel's booped himself and the dirty leafy person there, and throws them on the bed. Bobby asks who it is because he doesn't know, but Sam and Dean recognize this person immediately. It's their brother Adam. What? He's dead. What the fuck? Oh my god. I know him. Sorry, this elf.
So yeah. So what was your reaction?
Well, I've learned, I think, a little bit on the show that people dying
just because you're dead
shit.
don't mean you stay dead.
And that, but I was a little confused because I was like, what does this guy have to do with anything? But I mean, like, not this guy, obviously, but like,
but what? Why Adam?
Exactly.
And we're going to start to figure that out, like, really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But so it's our brother Adam, and Cass plops down his new angel blades, right? So this is,
he's collecting them now.
He's collecting them like trophies. He's a little sick, man. Serial killers collect trophies, but also angel blades. I would take them too. And he's just like, I need to hide you, and tattoos Adam's Riz with his fingers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, I can never even get a rib tattoo, much as like a rib brand. Like,
his belly glowed when they did it too.
That's a nice effect.
Oh, it's like he touched his belly and it glowed. What was that like? Anyways, and so Adam wakes up because of this, and he's quite startled and asks who they are, and Dean's like, we're your brothers. We all have the same dad, John Winchester. Adam's like, yeah, the angels warned me about you. I want to know where Zachariah is. Ruh-roh.
Oh no. So not only is it Adam, but Adam knows Zechariah and he's been talking to the angels. What the fuck is going on? Oh my god, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
But then we get to find out from Adam that he was in heaven and it was prom.
Well, but first they did let him wash the dirty leafiness off of him.
Well, you don't want that like on your mattresses that are just like hanging out in Bobby's living room for some reason. Yeah. Does Bobby sleep there? Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Probably. Ugh.
But also, if I had a bed and like where all my books were, I mean, I kind of do. But yeah, I get that. Like you just like you're in your books and then you want to go to sleep. Like that's comfortable. I get it. All right, moving on. So
his heaven, his little room in heaven, personal heaven was prom, and he's making out. And Dean asks about third base because he's not already being an asshole. He has to continue.
Yep. But also, damn, I mean, I didn't have a prom because I skipped my senior year. Did you go to prom?
I did.
So was it good enough to like spend an eternity? Because I don't feel like a high school dance would be like a place I want to spend my eternity.
Hell no. Did I have a cool dress and did I kind of have fun? Sure. Am I glad I did it? Sure. But no, there's nothing about high school that I think would apply to heaven/eternity in my.
Yeah, I mean, I have high school nightmare dreams. Like, like anytime, like
that's my personal hell, not my personal heaven.
Oh god. Different. And so Adam was like, what? So like it would probably been early 2000s. So like what terrible like song would have been playing on his prom over and over again? Oh my god. We'll come back to it. I don't know. Diana figured that out. That's a music thing. We'll do it later. We'll pop that into the Instagram. Diana will play. We'll do the math and we'll figure out what song was playing at Adam's prom. Okay.
Oh god. All right. So angels have told Adam that he's the one that's been chosen to save the world. That he and some archangel are going to kill the devil. And so basically they're saying that he's been told now that he is the sword in the vessel for Michael. That's weird because Dean's like, no, it's supposed to be me. And Castiel's like, not necessarily. They're moving on from you. Maybe it's possible because Adam's still part of the right bloodline and Sam's brother. So they might be desperate enough. Well, shit, that changes things.
Right. So now you like, I guess for you, did that click now? Like, oh shit, he can be Michael's vessel. Like,
yeah, bring him back from the dead, make him the vessel. Fuck it.
Yeah, and it makes sense, right? Yeah, Winchester line, but not Winchester and Campbell line, but just Winchester still like they'll work. But then Cass snarks that maybe they're desperate. Maybe they wrongly assumed Dean would be brave enough to withstand them. And then Dean just has had enough with his boyfriend and says, all right, you know what? Blow me, Cass. So we have Cass being upset that his boyfriend is being a little bitch, and Dean is just snarking back and implying that he wants to orally copulate with Cass.
Because no one ever says that.
Otherwise,
nope. That's the only way suck my dick is ever said. Literally,
literally, please orally copulate with me.
Got it. Noted.
Point for Destiel. Boop. Okay. So we're gonna like go from that though to Sam.
Sam's pissed. He's like, after all the talk of destiny, there's just a fucking plan B. What the fuck? And Adam's like, let me just out of here because this is not the family reunion I want to be part of. Fair. But Sam's like, look, let's just talk it out. Angels are fucking lying to you. And Adam's like, why would angels lie to me?
Angels don't lie. Angels can't be.
Yeah. Things that have come up multiple times in this series.
Things that have come up multiple times in the series, and just a general problem with angels overall. Like in general in the world, all the people that like pray to angels, that like all the angel websites that we have seen of just like, oh, they're gonna come and say like, have you read the Bible? They're not gonna help you. They're mean. Like I would not be asking Zechariah to help me with anything. No.
Yeah. So Sam does explain to Adam though, like, did the angels tell you that half of the planet's gonna die? And Adam's like, well, they told me it'd be bad, but we gotta fight the devil, so it is what it is. And Sam's like, there's another way. And Dean snarks about they're working on the power of love.
That's the power of love. Another Back to the Future reference.
Anyway, so Sam's like, look, just give us some fucking time.
Which is
We're
Sam's
gonna
theme,
try to buy
right?
your trust.
We're hitting it again.
Huh?
We're hitting Sam's theme this episode. Give us more time. Just that bluff of like, we've got something.
And they don't. They got jack shit. And he's like, and Sam's only reason is because we're blood. Adam doesn't give a shit. So
and I think that's fair. I mean, Adam is very righteously pointing out that John's basically a sperm donor, and that doesn't make him family. Like, someone can be your father and not be your father. Like, that happens all the fucking time.
Yeah. He's like, he's the guy who took me to a baseball game once a year. I don't have a dad. I just have my mom, and the angels told me I get to see my mom again if I do my job. So there we go.
You know, that's what I'm gonna. This is a hill I am literally dying on. I pick my mom over everything else. I pick my mom.
And Sam's like, that's fair, but if you have one good memory of dad, just give us a little bit of time to try to convince you otherwise. So he does kind of, but it doesn't seem much by choice. So Adam is eating a very disappointing looking sandwich by himself in the next scene. And Bobby's still researching, but turns his back. And Sam catches Adam trying to sneak out.
Smart, Adam, smart. But you know what? And Adam very smartly goes, I'm going to get some beer because that is what we need. And Sam very goes, we got beers.
We've got beer. Yeah. And look, and Sam's trying to explain that John just tried to protect Adam, except from the fucking monster that killed him, which Adam remembers. So,
ooh, that's awful.
Yeah, not good. And Sam tries to though commiserate and be like, "Hey, the only thing that was worse than seeing John once a year was seeing him all year." But
Hashtag John Winchester is a horrible father,
right? I'm like, doom. But also Adam doesn't buy that. He's like, look, it was just me and my mom, and basically Adam had to raise himself while his mom worked because it was just the two of them, and that sucked.
Yeah. And he also, has the opinion, I think, after watching thousands of Datelines, that many people who come from, homes that were separate, like, look, I just would have taken like any day, right? Yeah. But you know what, Adam? Nah, you were fine. You don't want more John. You were fine with little John, but you're gonna romanticize and put this idea of this person, this father figure, and it's not that great, Adam.
Yeah, and Sam's trying to still be like, but if we had known about you, we would have found you, but we can't change the past, but moving forward. And Adam kind of just mocks him.
Yep, and mocking makes him a Winchester. So
yeah, that's fair.
And also, if you want to bond with me, mocking is a very good way. It's a good strategy. Yeah. I prefer mocking other people and not myself or my family, but mock away as long as it's funny.
Well, we find out why Dean's not in this scene. Because he's locked in the bunker because Sam and Castiel have decided that he's too much of a flight risk, so they're locking him away.
And you know what's coming, right?
I know, so just do it.
So Cass is standing there and he's just smoldering at Dean. And Dean says, well, Cass, not for nothing, but the last person who looked at me like that, I got laid. Destiel forever! Yes. Okay, hey, yes, I know.
It's just a dude calling out another dude for the way he's looking at him.
Anyways. But also, he is looking at him like he literally wants to fuck him. Like, that is a definite smolder. It's a smolder.
Not convinced. Okay. So, Sam... They lock Dean in there. Castiel's gonna go watch Adam, and yeah, like Sam and Dean are talking about what's going on. And Dean's like, look, I'm not going to let Adam do this. He can't take a bullet for me. And Sam's like, we're not letting anybody do it at this point. So, but
do it.
And Dean's just like talking about, Dean's just overwhelmed with guilt with the fact that people dying, I think is where we're at, because he feels like, which is fair. I mean, if you feel like you have a way to stop this, because if they fight and lose and Lucifer wins, then like the whole world's fucked. If he just succumbs to Michael's wish to be his vessel, half the world dies. So he's kind of like, you know,
the ROI
we
here is
fight,
clear.
but yeah, he's kind of like, look, this is the only way we can really do it. And
he's also he's just so tired.
He's tired. He's guilty about all the people they've already lost, and doesn't want to, like, he's like, look, this isn't, maybe it's not all our fault exactly, but at the same time, all these people died because they were around us. And if this is who I'm supposed to be, this is fucking destiny. Let's do it. And, go ahead.
I would say he's about to cross another line.
Yeah.
Like, just a huge fucking line that is like, I don't even know how, like, if I was in this relationship, I don't know how we would come back from this.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. So Sam says, look, just take half a second and stop trying to sacrifice yourself. And Dean's response is, I don't believe. Sam asks, in what? Dean says, in you.
Fuck. Boom. Fuck. And then Dean's just like, I know they're going to find a way to turn you. Fuck, man. Like, it's... I honestly, like, if I was Sam, like, because I can't I would have just left. Like, there's no way I would have gone. And the fact that he's so, like, sitting here and, like, trying to fight for this fucktard.
Yeah, and Sam's like, and Dean tells Sam that Lucifer is going to wear you to the prom. Like, he just basically said, Sam, I don't believe in your ability to find a solution. I also don't believe in your ability to resist Lucifer. So I don't believe in you. So I have to go this path because it's the only way that we could possibly win, because I don't believe there anything else is possible.
You know, also this entire time, like, I really have seen Dean being a lot of like, I don't believe in you. I don't have faith in you. I have never seen him like be like, try and bolster his brother up. And do the things like
all the time.
And, you know, anybody who is recovering, like, I think this is also pissed me off, because basically you're saying, like, you're an addict, you're a junkie. I can never trust a junkie, which is a fair point. I do have many friends where that has become the ultimate statement of you can never trust a junkie. Yeah. At the same time, I wasn't like, you're a piece of shit and I never trust in you. Like, that's not what you tell an addict who you're trying to make better. You, like, at this point, he's just like, I'm fucking done, and it's just hurtful. Like,
And Sam said this in the 2 words that Sam says to him after all this, just like breaks your fucking heart. He just says, "Not you," because like he's so heartbroken that Dean is the one that doesn't believe in him. Like, ugh, that was excellently written, by the way. I would like to give a point for that, because it was so heart-wrenching. It was just the 2 words, but it was just, that's all it needed to be. It was that Dean didn't believe in him, and all he had to say was, "Not you." Oh,
I also just noticed Diana's Christmas nails. And this very horribly wrenching thing. If you go watch the YouTube video, go search for go to Devil's Trap Podcast on YouTube and watch it. You can see Diana's gorgeous Christmas nails just like flapping at her heart as she's grasping it in like trauma and pain that this episode caused, and they're adorable.
Thank you. I like them. Yeah, and Dean says his reply to this, and I think it's important, and then I'm going to say something real dumb, so brace for yourself. He believes it's the truth, even though he doesn't want it to be, that Sam's going to turn. And he doesn't like that kid. He doesn't want that kid fighting for him. It's got to be Dean. And then Backstreet Boys, "It's gonna be me," played in my head. So apologies for ruining this serious scene.
I mean, I was already distracted by your nails. I also don't know that song, so it was quite all right. But
Like
it's
it's
also,
like the one. It's one where they make the meme from Justin Timberlake where it's gonna be May. He
uh,
says me weird. That one, yeah.
but to be fair, like as much as like, I just think he could be less bitchy about this. I wouldn't let somebody else fight that fight. Like if I was in the situation and my half brother that I didn't know about, but I only met him once when he was a ghoul and wasn't himself. But then I discovered that my father had like fucked some woman when I was like 13 on the road and like never told me about this kid. But then he like comes out and like is going to take the place and like fight the devil. Like, no, Adam,
He has no training. He doesn't know the supernatural world. It doesn't matter what the angels told him. It's just
I would never
right.
let Adam do this for me.
No, and that's fair.
But you don't have to be a bitch. Like, ugh.
So you don't have to break your brother's heart.
No. So Sam leaves.
Unnecessary. Yeah.
Good for you, Sam. Leave.
Good. Walk away. And Bobby and Castiel are kind of talking about like, how is everybody? Yada yada yada, and everybody's terrible. It's basically the answer. There is no answer. So Castiel hears a noise and decides to go check on Dean. And he's peeping through the little, it's not a peephole, we've talked about this before too.
Oh, it's a speakeasy hole. Whatever
yeah,
door.
Whatever that is.
Shit. Damn it.
Oh.
Window, peephole, whatever. Sure. So he's in that and he gets basically bamboozled because he sees like a he sees a lamp knocked over and he's like, oh my god, what is happening inside here?
Something happened to Dean. I have to go check on him. But Dean was hiding, and Dean has been real tricky and carved the angel sigil on his chest. So he pops out, sees Castiel, and puts his hand on his chest and blasts Cass away.
Why didn't he put it on the wall?
Maybe they would have seen it when they were peeking through the window thingy.
They wouldn't see him putting it on his chest?
I mean, he could cover his chest.
I mean, I know it's going to give us some symmetry later, but whatever. All right. He zaps it. He basically, Cass gets zapped away to wherever. We don't know where they go. And Dean escapes.
Yes. And when Sam realizes he's gone and that Castiel is gone also, he's like, well, shit, I got to go find Dean. So, Bobby, you got to watch Adam. And Bobby's like, how the fuck am I going to watch this kid? And Sam's like, don't care. I'm going. And while they leave, we see Adam is dreaming. And he sees a creepy playground because any abandoned playground with weird lighting is creepy.
Is it? I don't know. I don't think it's creepy.
No?
Maybe I just drank a lot of playgrounds.
Maybe. I didn't drink a lot of playgrounds. Anyway, so Zachariah appears to him. Great. So now we know this is Zachariah visiting Adam in his dream and is, talking about how Adam's not where he was supposed to be, and they figured out he's with Sam and Dean, and that they Winchester brothers are psychotically, irrationally, and neurotically codependent on each other.
He's not wrong. I mean, it's not that they can't be trusted, but that they're codependent on each other. Fuck yeah, that is so very, very true. Like, basically, I think the point is they will choose each other over you every time. And are you wrong? We don't know.
Yeah. They'd rather save each other than the planet, and you're not his family. And then Zachariah asks if Adam still wants to see his mom again or not. And then Adam wakes up. So now we know what Adam's going to do.
Yep. He wants to see his mommy. But we're going to cut from there to another street preacher just yammering about the apocalypse. And he's in front of a sign that says El Sol, which basically makes it look like a dirty Mexican restaurant that I want to go to.
But the sign also says bar real big. But yeah.
Yeah. So like tequila and enchiladas. Fuck yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
He's saying that the angels talked to him about the apocalypse. So Dean walks up to him and said, "Hey, I'm Dean Winchester. Do you know who I am?" And the preacher just calls out, "Dear God." So he's like, "Look, tell your angel buddies, call them." And so the preacher kneels and starts doing the Lord's Prayer.
Very loudly. Yeah. And then Cass boops in and says exactly what we're all thinking. You pray too loud.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much how I feel about like a lot of street preachers. Like, cool. You want to say your thing? That's fine. Can you not be so loud? Like,
I mean, I'm fine. Just as long as you don't have a loudspeaker, because there's some in my area that do loudspeakers a lot.
You pray too loud. You pray too loud.
So, yeah, Destiel knocks the preacher over, but we realize that Destiel...
He boops him. He doesn't knock him. He boops him into unconsciousness.
Gently pushes him and boops him. It's like a slow push, like boop. But we quickly realize that Castiel's not just there. Hey, I'm gonna go find Dean. Castiel's fucking pissed. Like,
yeah,
fucking pissed. And so
and he throws.
Oh yeah, and he throws Dean into the alley. Anger. It is. He's got Dean in the alley, beating the fuck out of Dean, like punching him in the face repeatedly, saying, "I rebelled for this, so you could surrender to them." And Dean's like on the ground, bloody, and is like, "Please." And Cass is like, "No, I gave up everything for you, and this is what you did."
Destiel has become so toxic. It's become so toxic. You shouldn't. No, violence is never the answer for your relationship problems, Destiel. But he is very righteous in this. Just like, what the? Like, it is basically like, I don't know, maybe like someone turning on a cult leader or something. But, he had an entire set of belief system that he turned over for his boyfriend. Or just for this idea, or boyfriend. And then to find out that he's the person that he did this for, or believe, is giving up. Like, oh yeah, you have a right to be, you don't have a right to beat somebody to a pulp. That is not your right. But you do have a right to be angry.
Yeah. And so Dean tells Destiel, just do it. But this is when Cass relaxes his anger.
Just do it.
He relaxes his anger and taps Dean on the shoulder and make him unconscious.
Do what, Dean? What do you want me to do to you? But, his face is so great. Yeah, but Cass can't. He can't lay the 5-finger death punch on him. And so instead, we're just going to boop him.
Boop him, and we get back to Bobby's place, where Sam has realized that Adam is gone and is very upset with Bobby. Then Cass shows up with a very bloody Dean. And
why didn't he heal him before? I guess maybe his mojo is running down. But I would be like, I beat the shit out of you. Like, at least let me like take out like some of the facial bruising.
Didn't he kind of deserve it? Oh, sorry.
Maybe. Yeah, fair.
So, but Sam asks, "What happened? What happened to him?" And Castiel just answers, "Me." I was amused.
And it's hot.
Anyways, so they're figuring out that, so they lay Dean down. They figure out that even though Adam's ribs were extra tattooed, whatever they call it, they must have been tipped off in a dream. And so now they need to figure out where they would have taken him. So where would they have taken him? The fancy gilded waiting room.
The gilded room that is full of burgers and beer. Burgers and beer. Like, especially if those burgers stay warm. This is probably why I got Whataburger today, because I was like, looked at the pie. I've been craving a burger for like a while, and now I know why. This is why I got Whataburger. And then one of my coworkers like doesn't live here, and she said she wanted Whataburger. Then another coworker who lives here told her that she could just get Carl's Jr. and it would be the same. And then I was like, "Are you trying to start a fight?" Because I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Just like
no,
this.
ma'am.
Just no, like ma'am. This episode. There's just like Cass and Dean, but over burgers. So Adam, though, unlike Dean before, has no problem just being like, "No, I'm just going to eat this shit."
Eating some burgers. And Zachariah appears, as expected, and makes some snarky comment about how Adam and his brother Dean have the same refined palates. And you can just tell he's such a dick when he shows up. I'm just saying. Like, he tries to make it sound like he's not being a dick, but he is. And so Adam's like, okay, whatever. So are we ready? And Zachariah's like, for what? And Adam's like, for Michael. And then this is where the story unravels a little bit. Not the story from the show, but like what you think is happening unravels a little bit. And Zachariah tells Adam, no, we're going to terminate your position. You're not the chosen one. You're just bait.
What? Zachariah was lying? What?
Ooh. I kind of saw this potentially coming. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. No, it's kind of obvious. They lie.
And all the family build up and how like close they are and all that. I'm like, oh, this is, yeah. And Adam gets upset. He's like, I'm supposed to fight the devil. And Zachariah's like, yeah, not so much. You're just the illegitimate half brother of the guy we really care about. Ouch. Fuck. And this is when Adam realizes that he was lied to by the angels. Mm-hmm. And Zachariah's like, no, you didn't lie. I just avoided the truth to manipulate you.
Like a salesman. Like a politician or a newsman or oh god, okay, I'm gonna move off of that before I go drive myself into a tizzy. So I also just want to say tizzy. So,
but basically this is where Zachariah's like, look, yeah, the Winchesters have one blind spot is family, and this will put Dean where we need him. Michael's already seen this happening, so yeah, you'll get your severance to see your mom, and that's about it. And Adam's like, well, why should I believe you about that? And Zachariah shuts him up and makes him bleed from the mouth.
Yep, just vomiting some blood like you do.
It's so awful.
But I also wonder at this point, does Adam realize that, like, oh, maybe I was wrong about these dudes? Like, maybe they will actually care this much about this person they haven't met.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna cut from the vomiting blood to teen chained up at my vacation home.
The bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's waking up, and Sam asks how he's feeling. And Dean's response is, word to the wise, don't piss off the nerd angels. All right, I like it. But they, Sam's like, yeah, well, Adam's where they took you, so we're gonna unlock you now. And Dean's just like it's either a trap to get me there to say yes, or it's not, and he'll get there and he'll say yes anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes. So you really want to let me go here? That makes, it's up to you, but either way. And Sam's certain that Dean's not gonna say yes. He's like, when it comes down to it, you're gonna make the right call. You're not gonna do it. I know it. And
it's so sweet.
Yeah, Sam has so much faith in his brother. So for Dean to say that, this is like where I think it turns even more that Dean said, I don't believe in you to Sam. This just highlights how much Sam believes in Dean.
Yeah. And we know this isn't always the case. It's just where we're at in their brother's journey. But it's still like, oh man, he's just doing it because he's a big brother and he believes in him. And that's it's just nice.
Sweet. And then we go to my favorite place, an industrial site.
Yep, an abandoned factory.
But this one has palm trees. That's the unique factor here.
Why? Because it's in the valley. It's in the green room is not in heaven. It's in fact in Van Nuys, California. And which is nice because at least they set up this green room and they can shoot some porn there later.
Multi-purpose. So we've got Sam, Dean, and Destiel. And it is an abandoned muffler factory.
Muffler.
And inside, in the room, in the waiting room or green room, whatever we call it, is inside.
I'm sorry, I just looked at my notes and it says, Cass is going to go in, take on 5 angels. Which after just the porn reference of Van Nuys.
Really take them on.
Just take on those 5 angels, Cass.
So yeah, so Cass explains that he can't just poof Adam out because there's 5 angels that he's got to go take on the way, and basically he's got a plan and takes his tie off. So he's going to go clear out the angels, and then Sam and Dean can go grab Adam. And it's the only chance they'll have.
The fact that you made him undress, you're just like, and then he takes his tie off.
He did. That's critical to the storyline.
It is. It's so critical.
It's not critical, but it's relevant.
Yes. But Cass, it's just like, look, if I die, at least I don't have to watch Dean fail.
Oh.
You hurt your boyfriend, Dean, real bad.
And then he said, sorry, I don't have the faith in you. Sam does. Ouch. Oh, fucking burn. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, they are fucking hard on Dean in this episode, but he deserves it.
He deserves it.
But he doesn't seem to affect him, which is kind of fucked up too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I'm like, at some point, or is that why he just digs in and gets shittier and shittier?
Yeah, I guess it's also kind of like, have you ever been, like, it's been a while, like, that I've been that wrong where you just, like, stuck to it, and you're just like, nope.
You just can't let it go.
I'm all in.
I'm owning it.
Can't, nope. And, like, everyone's just like, you're just like,
no. I know I have, but, like, I can't, yeah. So, there we go. So, Destiel goes in by himself, and inside this giant warehouse, there's a tiny creepy house inside of it. And the first angel attacks, he stabs him, and he lights out. And then the next two are circling to attack him.
You missed something though. So before he walked in, he took out a box cutter. And we don't see why, but it's just like this weird, like he brought a box cutter with him, or he zapped it in. I don't know where the box cutter came from. It was just in his trench coat.
You don't just carry a box cutter in your trench coat?
I should though. I mean, with Boxlandia.
Seems reasonable, right? Yeah. It seems very
like 5 box cutters right now. I mean, just because of how much like shipping comes in here. So we're back to like they're fighting, right? And he kills like one dude, and just like, oh, where are the rest of like we're all these guys circled that I'm taking on, and then like they just surround him.
He's being surrounded by angels with their angel knives, and they want to kill him.
Their angel knives are all erect, and then
he drops his.
He flags. Oh shit! I can't read the word for like a penis deflating. Whatever happens when a penis deflates, that's the metaphor here for dropping the blade. Okay. Then he tells him to come on.
But he opens his shirt and he has a sigil carved in his chest.
He rips open his shirt.
I couldn't do it. I know I should have, but I couldn't
He rips open his shirt to reveal his manly chest.
And he blasts them all.
Oh God! Oh, this erotica is just becoming too much. But so he has cut a sigil on his own chest with the box cutter, which is a symmetry to Dean doing it earlier.
Yep. He learned it from
he learned it from his boyfriend, and so
yeah. And then, but he's gone too. He blasts himself away too, which is kind of funny.
He blasts so hard that even he goes.
Oh my gosh! And so we get Dean enters the warehouse and sees an angel body on the ground. Just one though. So he goes up to the creepy house, and it's the fancy room. He sees Adam on the floor bleeding from the mouth, which everybody knows is not great.
No, typically that's a bad sign.
But Adam's super surprised that Dean's there. And Dean's like, no, you're family. But Adam's like, yeah, but it's a fucking trap. Dean's like, yeah, I figured. Okay. We figured that one out. So who appears? Good old Zachariah. And he's like, Dean, did you really think it'd be that easy? And Dean's like, did you? Because Sam's there. And Sam's going to stab Zachariah with an angel blade. But not. Because he gets angel flinged.
He does get angel fling, but now we know what Cass did with those extra blades.
Oh! He was saving them to pass to the boys. So Zachariah is like, I learned patience, and then he's going to make Adam double over in pain, bleeding from the mouth again, and then he's going to monologue and mad about that he got fired, and how that can be literal for when you work for, in heaven, but, I should have trusted, and just playing it out. And now you've got 2 hemorrhaging brothers because now he's making Sam double over in pain and bleed from the mouth. Monologue.
But then we cut to our favorite show. Dean says yes. Yes to the dress.
Yes. Say yes to be the dress, I guess.
Be the dress. Be the vest.
Yeah.
Yes to the vest.
Yes to the vest.
Anyways, call Michael down. I'm ready. I'm ready for him.
Call him down. Ready? Let's do it. And Sam is fucking upset because Dean looks real serious, and Dean looks very emotional about saying this too. And but he looks at Sam and Adam bleeding on the ground, and Zachariah's like, I don't know if you're lying or not, but Zachariah turns around, starts doing an incantation, and Dean looks really kind of scared and sad. It's kind of heart-wrenching. You're like, oh fuck. Then he makes eye contact with Sam and smirks at him.
And he winks. He doesn't smirk, he winks. I can't wink well. If you watch YouTube, you see me trying to wink, and it's not great. This is why, I can't. I also can't wink with the right eye. I can only wink with the left.
Really?
Yeah, I can't.
I can do both.
I'm not. I can't do both.
And then
the room starts shaking, right?
Oh yeah. But Dean's like, but BT Dub, I've got conditions.
Of course. You should have a writer. What's in your writer, Dean?
He's like, yeah, people whose safety you have to guarantee before I say yes. And
not before I say yes, but before Michael gets one piece of this sweet ass. So this is Van Nuys, California. We are in the valley. We are watching vivid porn come to life. So Michael can't get his sweet ass. But before I do that, you gotta die, Zachariah.
Yeah, Michael can't have me until he disintegrates you. Oh, shit, is what I wrote.
Oh, shit. And Zach is all full of his angel hubris. And he's like, what? You think Michael's gonna go for that?
Mm-hmm. And Dean's like, yeah, who's more important? Mm-hmm.
You or me?
And then Zachariah definitely do you know who I am?
He does. Do you know who I am? And then he also has this sounds like a very Shakespearean thing to say, you were nothing but a maggot inside a worm's ass. And so if it was an iambic pentameter, it would definitely be Shakespearean. But I really had to picture you can't help it. Ew, a maggot in a worm's ass. So I had to stop for a minute and be like, do worms have asses? But they do. A dissected one.
Yeah. And then Dean says, Zachariah's like, yeah, I don't think Michael's going to kill me. And Dean's like, yeah, maybe not, but I am. And stabs him with the fucking angel knife. Holy fuck, Zachariah's angel lights out.
He does. Bye, Felicia. And he also gets a very nice quip in. Right before you kill a nemesis, you always need to have the good quip. That you're coming, like Schwarzenegger does, right? Or Buffy. And so he was just in the whole do you know who I am thing? Dean's yeah. Expendable. Oh, and that's what he does. Bye, bitch. And it just then you start to hear the angel squeal. I don't know how else to call it.
Yeah, the high pitched squealing noise that makes your eardrums explode. And so Sam and Dean are trying to get out, but they run, but the door slams and closes, locking Adam in, and nobody can get the door open. And we see a bright light fill the room, and then nothing. And Dean opens the door, and it's just a crappy, destroyed office. I'm assuming this is because Adam was already dead.
Adam's gone.
That's my assumption.
That's all we know. Adam's gone.
All we know is Adam's gone. He didn't get out, and they were very sad about it. So they're driving, and Sam asks Dean if he thinks that Adam's okay. And Dean's response, though, is, doubt it. Destiel either, but we'll get him. So, Sam calls Dean out, did you really mean you were going to say yes? And what changed? And Dean's like, yeah, I was.
Well, as they're driving away, we've moved out, so we're in baby now, and we're driving down the road.
Yeah, and Dean says that he didn't want to let Sam down. And then we get a little Dean monologue that he owes an apology. He's always viewed Sam as the snot-nosed, kid. And that I need to acknowledge that you're grown up enough to have faith in me. And the least I can do is return the favor.
Aww.
And then they end with screw destiny right in the face. Take the fight to them and do it our way.
Let's do it our way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Sid Vicious's version of that. Yeah, I like ending on that like very like upbeat screw destiny. Yeah.
We're gonna do this.
Fuck destiny.
Yeah, you needed something at the end because this episode was fucking heavy.
And it was heavy. So heavy that we did not have a lore. Mm-hmm. And once again, I'm just teasing you now, that I was once again tempted to have this be why we have the Enochian language, but this episode was too heavy. It was too heavy. So instead of lore, we're going to put Diana on the spot again because it amuses me. So, since this is the 100th episode of Supernatural, and Diana has seen 100 episodes, how much does she remember? I don't know.
I am over 40 and I drink. Don't do this to me.
So, we're having this quiz that I'm calling... Insert quiz name here. No, I'm calling it. So this is just questions about the past 100 episodes of Supernatural. They could come from anywhere. It's crazy time. Ah! You ready?
That's definitely how I feel. Sure.
All right. First question. Which of the following Zeppelin members, Led Zeppelin, obviously not the blimp Zeppelin, have not been used as aliases by the Winchesters to date in our rewatch? Is it A, Jimmy Page, B, John Bonham, C, John Paul Jones, or D, Robert Plant?
I think it's C.
It is C.
Oh, yes.
You heard me bitch about Jimmy Page in season 3, episode 5, Bedtime Stories. You heard me bitch about John Bonham in season 1, episode 11, Scarecrow. And you heard me sing Screeching Weasels. Robert Plant is a slimy fuck in season 5, episode 6, The Children Are Our Future.
Yeah.
All right. Your second question. Where is the first town that Sam and Dean go together looking for John in the pilot episode? Was it A, Bethlehem, B, Jericho, C, Jerusalem, or D, Babylon?
I want to say B, Jericho, but I don't think it is.
You are correct.
Oh,
it is Jericho. I forgot to put town. I think it's Jericho, California. Yeah, it is Jericho, California. All right. Your third question. What was the first non-demon monster fought by the boys? Was it A, Wendigo, B, a Gen, C, a Chupacabra, or D, a vampire? Or vampire, whatever.
That was the Wendigo.
It was the Wendigo, or Wendigo, or however you want to say it. That was in season 1, episode 2, Wendigo. All right. So up to this point, which of these has not been an episode title? A, Crossroad Blues, B, Hell House, C, Freaks and Geeks, or D, Sympathy for the Devil?
I think it's B.
It is C, Freaks and Geeks.
That was between the two.
That is coming. That will happen in season 8.
It was between those two. I was torn. Okay.
So, next question. What is the name of the demon played by Jared's wife, Genevieve Padalecki? Is it A, Ruby, B, Meg, C, Lucy, or D, Lilith?
That's A, Ruby.
It is! It's Ruby! So...
that one.
All right, next question. What city is the showdown between Lucifer and Michael supposed to happen? Is it A, Lawrence, Kansas, B, Detroit, Michigan, C, Chicago, Illinois, or D, Austin, Texas?
Oh, God. I have no idea. I think it's either A or B. So I'm just gonna say Lawrence, Kansas, because that's where everything happens. But I don't think that's it.
No, it was B. Why didn't you go? It was Detroit. It all happens.
Damn it! I was right.
It all happens in Detroit.
Damn it!
We've heard that. Pay attention, Diana.
I know. That's why I thought that, and I don't question. And I question myself.
All right. This is your final question, and frankly, you would not know this unless you were researching the 100th episode party that happened for the cast and crew in Vancouver.
Cool.
All right. What song did Jensen Ackles sing with the band The Impalas at the 100th episode party? Was it A, Back in Black, B, Eye of the Tiger, C, Soul Man, or D, Heat of the Moment?
Well, it'd be funny if it was Eye of the Tiger. But for some reason, I just feel like it might be the Heat of the Moment. Just say Eye of the Tiger because that'd be what I'd want to see.
It's actually C, Soul Man. He is dressed up as a Blues Brother singing Soul Man, and it's spectacular. Highly recommend everyone go watch this on YouTube. We will drop the link in the show notes. It's a great performance. So the Impalas was a band made up of various crew members and some of the cast for the 100th episode. It would look like a great party. Yeah. So we have watched 99 episodes. I feel like there's a bitch ain't one thing again, which was the last episode. But any final thoughts on this? It was a lot?
It was, yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it was a really important, I think it was an important driving episode about their relationship. And I think it was very decisive in what will happen next in the story. And I don't know what's going to happen next, but I think that, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And what's going to happen next is our 100th episode. And also
Liz's favorite episode.
And I think what is my favorite episode of Supernatural. I have the ability, the right to change my mind on that anytime. And I probably will. But for right now, it's my favorite episode. And tune in next week because it's going to be a doozy. Maybe. I don't know. We could be lying like Zachariah. Cheers, jerk.
Cheers, bitch.
Devil's Trap Podcast is a Don't Get It production. Meow.
Devil's Trap Podcast is part of the Ship It Studios Podcast Network. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's Trap Podcast, Twitter at Devil's Trap Pod, or you can email us at devilstrap@devilstrappodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave reviews, and share with all your friends. We're at all your favorite podcast outlets and at devilstrappodcast.com. I'm Babe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.